Welcome everyone to our SimCity play-along. This game was released in 1991 by Nintendo and Maxis. This was a great game on the PC, but it's also an amazing game for the SNES, Super Nintendo system. This was one of my first games I bought for the Super Nintendo. Completely addictive game, and I played for hundreds and hundreds of hours. Now I've got my SNES controller in hand. Let's start the game. We have four choices here. We could resume a saved city, we could start a practice city, start a new city, or start a scenario. In the scenario, we start with 6 different options here. We have the San Francisco earthquake, burn, traffic jams, a Tokyo monster attack. Detroit, we have to deal with a crime. Boston has a nuclear meltdown in 2010. And Rio de Janeiro has coastal flooding in 2047. But for this game right now, we're going to start a practice city, and we're going to try to follow the rules of this city. Welcome to the world of SimCity. SimCity is a city building game where you are the mayor. To develop your city, you need to set a budget, listen to the residents' opinions, and solve problems, like raising crime rates, and traffic jams or environmental pollution. To begin, let's aim at building a city with a population of 30,000 people. Well, that's going to be our goal today, to build a city with 30,000 people. And that will be our video. Let's start the city. Hello, I'm Dr. Wright. You must be the new mayor. Let's practice our city building techniques by building a power plant and adding residential, commercial, and industrial zones. Next, connect all zones with power and then add roads for the residents to travel on. Over there, that's Dr. Wright right there. With such soothing, calm music at our starting city, we start with $20,000. We have 0 population, we have a little bit of demand for industrial. Over here, we can control our options such as speed. Here, auto bulldoze, auto financing, go to for the helicopter, and sounds. And here's all of our disasters. Our maps, our grids, guides. Here's where we can auto save, load games, go back to the menu. And here we can have a little pep talk here by Dr. Wright. Good job, your fine city is growing nicely. I don't see any problems at the moment, so let's keep up the good work. We haven't even started the city yet, so let's plan out our city. Here's R for residential, C for commercial, I for industrial. We also have our police departments, fire departments. We'll build them a little bit later on. We're on a little island right here, so we're going to have to find out a place to build. But first we need a power plant. We have an option for coal power or nuclear. I personally prefer nuclear, so I'm going to build that over here in a nice safe area on the island. Hopefully there won't be a meltdown, but we'll see. Build a power line across here. Let's start with some residential zones so that my people can start moving in. We'll build like... Let's build a square block. And we'll build some roads around it. Yes, more industrial zones are needed. As soon as I finish my residential zones, we'll work on industrial. Let's put a little bit of grass inside here. A little park area. So the Sims can take a break inside the middle of their lots once they start building. Now we're going to build a road here. We're going to build it all the way down near the bottom of the map. And so that's where we're going to start building our industrial zones. Right here's good. We don't need to build it with any green space because it's far enough away from the residential zones, the pollution will stay down here. box in a 6 block area. And we'll bring down some power so they can be connected. And hopefully the Sims will go down this little highway we built right here. And we've already started building. And over here is a little magnifying glass. This is our way we can spy on the people in their little homes. And each little square block is a home. So there's usually about 9 homes in each city. But once these start to develop to mid and high density residences, then we'll be able to see what quality of housing that they're living in. Oh, we have an industrial zone started building here, with a factory. We still have a lot of demand for industrial zones here. Oh! Hello? Did you know that too? Do you know how to read this graph? Well, if the bar is positive, there's a demand for that type of zone. The longer the bar, the greater the demand. Once you know how to use this graph, the feedback will help you to prevent unnecessary construction of zones. That's exactly what I just explained. The zones are in desperate need of industrial zones. Oh, we need commercial. So let's build a commercial zone just below the residential zone. And we'll build it in the same fashion as the residential zone. A little bit of grass in the middle. There's a park here. Maybe we can try to put a tree in the middle. There we go. And get some roads around it. Now we have a commercial zone, an industrial zone on the bottom, and a nice residential zone. Let's start building some train lines. Don't need to make too big for the moment, we can just build a nice train line here that leads you from the residential to the commercial zone. And we have a looping area here for the train to turn around. Build one at the bottom too. There we go, now the train can turn around in safe and security. Alright, let's build it all the way down to the industrial zone. There we go. It could still turn around here if it chooses to, but it can also come down here and deliver you to the industrial zone. Now we're really starting to build around here. These should be able to turn into medium and high density zones soon. As you can see, we don't really need any residences right now, but there's a lot of industry that's needed, so go and develop here. You have some space. The town population of more than 2,000 people. Congratulations, your village has become a town. Placing residential zones, industrial zones, and commercial zones in balanced numbers will help your city grow. Well, thank you, Mr. Wade. Now, where would you like to build your house? Do you want to live near the residents of your city, or do you want to build your house in a secluded area away from the congestion? Remember, another election is just around the corner. Love that green hair. Well, let's build our house right in one of these empty spaces here, and we'll see if the land develops. Oh, see, R1 high, so these are going to be high density zones. Now if two R1 highs built next to each other, we're going to have an R top. Those are fun to see. Those are huge skyscrapers. Now in October, we're just under 10,000. You always wonder why I'm calling him Mr. Wright. Well, because Will Wright is the person that invented SimCity. So with his little green hair, that's Mr. Will Wright. Good job, your fine city is growing nicely. I don't see any problems. Well, wait. I don't need to see any problems, thankfully. Oh, I have a little bit of traffic here. That might be an issue in the future. I have trains on this side. Maybe I'll add some trains on the other side eventually. Everything seems to be developing nicely. Let's check the speed. Well, let's speed it up a bit. Just so we can make some money. Let's plan a budget. It is important to form a budget every December. Careful planning is required to increase your revenue without upsetting the citizens. If they think the tax rate is too high, they'll move to another city. Well, let's see how much taxes they pay when we arrive in December. So far we have 3,000 people. The city is growing. 3,640. Alright, we have a tax rate at 7%. Everything here is set to 100% funding. Transportation fund is $153. But our taxes collected were $283, so we're in the black. We've only spent $153 this year. So, go with the figures, we've made our money this year. Has your city been developing okay? Why, press square to gain useful information about your city. Press this other square to save your city, and I'll come and help you if you press my face. Start and select moves the icon bars. Yes, they do. Oh. Now we still... Oh, it's starting to grow now. There we go. We're going to start to build. We're going to need some residential zones very shortly. Now, demand is building really high now. So do you know what? Let's start another residential area, so we can continue to grow our population. We'll leave the train in the middle, but we'll build our zone right here. So let's select the same style as before. A 3x3 section. A little garden in the middle. People can grow whatever they like. We have some trees here that change color in the spring, the summer, the fall, and they turn white in the winter. Build our trees around here. Build the roads. We're connected to electricity now. Now to start developing with all of our high demand for residential zones right now. I think the traffic is pretty bad right here. Eventually we'll probably put the train line here. Hopefully that will stop the traffic. Really high demand right now for residential. Oh, it's starting to develop now. Now let's go in here and let's go see what our people think of us. Now, is the mayor doing a good job? 68% of the people think yes, and 32% no, and what are the reasons? 24% think taxes, 23% housing costs, 7% crime, and 6% traffic. So traffic is not a big issue right now. As you can see, we've grown to 7,520 people, so we're really on our way up. Now, is everything going okay? To develop your city further, I think you should study your transportation network. Citizens don't like to live or work in an area that is difficult to get to. Connect each zone with the roads or rail, but remember, every kilometer requires maintenance. So we're not going to cut back on the roads, or we're going to start seeing potholes in the roads. That's one thing we can surely avoid. We're starting to develop a little bit of land here in June. 1901. Everyone in this city has cars. 1901. Unless, if I could zoom in further, I would... Can't zoom any further. Maybe they have horse and carriages. Oh. Still high demand. Residential zones. Don't have any crime yet, so we don't really need the police station or the fire department yet. They cost a lot to maintain as well, so we'll wait until we actually start having some crime. And factories are starting to close down. There's no need for them. People are finding work elsewhere, or staying at home. I wonder how they get to work on the power plant here. Should build a road just to deliver the people to the nuclear plant. There you go. Look close to turning on as well? Sure. There you go. Not much demand now for anything. But our population has grown to 8,000 people. 8,300 now. Well, the industries are starting to be a little bit more demanding here. There we go. Now we're going to need to build some more industrial zones as soon as these ones develop, because they seem to have closed down. I think we're going to try to build ourselves up to about 10,000 people right now, and then save the rest for our next play along. Hopefully we'll go to 20,000 and then finally 30,000. Oh, now the citizens are demanding a fire department. So we should be sure to build them a fire department. Once we have enough money, and once we build a few more houses, we'll certainly build a fire department in one of these zones around here. Just a nice central location. That way it'll have great coverage for the commercial and residential zones. Industrial zones, we don't mind as much, we can rebuild them. But here it's important to put a fire department. We'll probably put a police department down here because there's a lot of crime rate usually within the factories. Another year has passed. Our transportation has cost a little bit more, it's $200 now. But with all the taxes we've collected, we've made more than enough money to keep it going. Our expenditures are $200, but we collected $675 this year, so we're back in the black at 9,012. So we're going to go with those figures and watch as our population grows. Oh no! Traffic jam warning. Stay off the streets! Heavy traffic is clogging our roads. Residents are upset and the pollution levels are rising. Now you must be a good time to introduce your mass transit program. Well, I built a train. Oh well. Jump! Okay, cars coming. Jump, jump. Okay. Now we have traffic issues we have to deal with. Look at all those cars. We have a train system here. Everybody is... Maybe we'll just build the trains all the way to the end here. Just to show them that we do have this train system available for them. There we go. We could actually build a train system all the way to the power plant as well, in case people want to go to work. There we go. We'll just get rid of this turnaround point here. The train will make stop here. And I'll make another stop, and the industrial park. Now as you see, a city population of 10,000 people. Congratulations! Your city-town has become now a city. Solve any transportation dilemmas and reduce the crime rate to keep your citizens happy and the city growing. Excellent. We are now a population of 10,000. And this is going to be our goal right here, to reach 30,000. music has changed. The tension is building. We are now at 10,000. We are in a huge city. We are ready to take on anything right now. Look at all this traffic building. So right now, we're going to leave you here at our city of 10,140. But don't worry, we're going to join back right at this 10,280 people on our goal to 30,000 people in our SimCity for Super Nintendo. So stay tuned and come back again, and thank you for watching SimCity for SNES, Episode 1.